Well, I don't believe that there's a split. There's certainly a departure of certain people, and I believe that we will get the majority that is required. We did our very best, and doing so, we also earned the tag of being an indecisive party, and that was the price we paid for being accommodating. So I don't think that we did not try. We did more than what was there, and a lack of gratitude is, I mean, you cannot cure that type of disease. I don't think the subsequent party that you mentioned is of any threat. It is that the voters will ensure that the elephant that was crystallized during D.S. Senanayake and protected through Dudley Senanayake, Sir John Kotalawala, J.R. Jawat, and Anasinghe Premadasa, Vijay Tunga, and Ranil Wickremasinghe. Well, the opportunity is there, and the people will ensure that the elephant is voted in. So I guess this departure is not the problem. Keeping the unity is certainly there. It's a slight threat that is there, but all of them will vote for the elephant in the election. But I think this has been discussed many times, and it is an internal affair that is talked outside. I would basically say, yes, there are many things that are there, but certainly it has to be for the collective good and not for the sake of doing a thing. And that's where things are. So we certainly ensure that such things happen. There will be, and will be modernized, but it is not a forceful approach. It is a universal approach that is be adopted, where everybody feels that is the case. It's not for the sake of doing that you should do that. Well, the question, I don't want to be presumptuous in answering such, but I mean, things have to change. And on that basis, there are opportunities that are there. And being a senior member in the team, as the assistant leader, I guess it is a team that has got to select. And Mr. Ranil Wickremasinghe and the team will certainly look at who are the capable, decisive, able, who have the feeling for the party, and who can get a job done. It's not something that just falls on your lap. It is something that you earn through the merits of the case. And I will look forward to seeing how things go on, and maybe that it is the party, the team that will decide, and the future will for sure tell what the story is. Well, I think it is an unfair question because I think everything was done. It was a simple case of doing a lot and getting a very little media aspect. At the end of the day, it is media that sells a story. You put 1,000 rupees of expenditure into development and you get a rupees in media, you see it in that aspect. It's like when you go to a temple or a church, you drop a 1 rupee coin, it makes huge noise, but you drop a 1,000 rupee note, nobody knows it. That's what we were faced with. So I guess our opposition always put a rupee into development, got a 9,000 rupees worth of media. So I guess that has to be rectified. But a lot of things were done, whether development, whether economic revival, whether it was democracy, whether it was safe living, all of them were achieved. And I guess it's unfair to say that nothing happened. Everything happened was during a UMP time. And the little that was done has been undone when UMP not in power. the the good governance needs to have a team approach. You have 2 or 3 people out of it, and the entire team gets dejected or rejected or failed, or into 2, 3 members failure. And that was it. We accomplished hell of a lot. But owing to 2 or 3 recalcitrant members, the aspect of good governance was eroded. But certainly that didn't basically remove the entire thing. It showed that we did a lot, but it could have been much better attained if we basically had shown a sense of unity. And I guess now it will be there because some of the people who created unwanted problems don't exist anymore. Well, I think the best thing that would be seen is past performance. 27 years in Parliament, and all we could basically say, if we say we are doing something, we do it. And it is to serve the people, not to be served. And this is why sometimes it is very disheartening to see the character assassination that goes on for the simple reason we get a job done while others keep talking. And this is what earns the lot. And all I could basically say is we look forward to the younger generation being aspired to better places. We look at the economy being revived from where it is, like what we did in the 2015 when the budgets were brought forward, as well as to ensure the country, a little country, manufactures and exports rather than import and perish. If we ask the question why, what is it to be asking why? The question is being posed as if we are basically in one paintbrush, everybody there. Who are the people behind it? Was I in charge of the central bank? No, I was not. There were other people in charge. There was the Deputy Minister of Finance, which is Haris Silva, that makes all the noise. Why are they not being questioned? Commercial banks are under Kabir Hashim. Why are they not being questioned? It is simply because we played a team spirit, and basically we didn't. Things were not which was with us was not rattled out. It was the only crime that we committed. No, in that case we are going to tell so, and now we are telling so. So I guess it is a myth that is created, a storm in a teacup that made this bond approach. I don't think even the media knows what is the real situation. You had 16 years, the forensic report said, from 2005 to 2015. The media doesn't have the courage or conviction to ask those questions. They only put on the UMP. Either the media is anti-UMP, they don't want the UMP to come, or they're so biased that they don't want to see reality. Why should you? You are elected to be UMP. What is the last name that you mentioned? Not a party or reckoning. I don't think it is of any force. But certainly, you get elected to represent your party, not to be dumping like monkeys all over. I would like to answer. Don't waste any further time in answering that. You have seen the results, and you know it's only when things are happening only you see what type of performance is. You have to be married to see the productivity of it. The UMP we certainly can win without because it's a collective thinking process that is required, and certainly UMP can. Certainly, it is a topic that needs to be, but it should be in line with the culture of the country and with the religious beliefs that are there. It should not be contradictory, and it should be the majority view of it. If it's just a handful of people that want it and very much against the wishes of the people, then it can be detrimental. But if it's a majority people, then it's up to the choice of democracy. We are the ones who brought 25% representation of ladies to the local council. So why pose that question saying we don't? We have done. It is the best of the ladies that are contesting with us, and we are given limit. But the politics have fallen to such a all-time low, that sometimes it is undesirable to have such things, because even what the men can't face, I fear the ladies may have unwanted problems. So certainly they have been given a choice. Any amount is there. I guess the best thing is moving forward with the little that is there. Firstly, I would look at reviving the economy to its best, because if you win all other wars and lose the economic war, you're lost it. The younger generation must be given a better tomorrow. You only speak of them, you use them during elections and drop them. I am a great believer that I am a voice for the voiceless, and those young generation must be made to go forward. Then Sri Lanka must be put on to a reboot mode where we basically look at the economy from its real perspective. The agriculture must be innovated, where it should be modernized, as well as the service industry must be put to the key areas, and these two be the thrust that goes forward, with industry development only as a way forward to meet the two aspirations. The next one is makes we manufacture and export rather than import and perish. The Sri Lankan identity must be put forward on that basis. And the next one is to ensure that we basically have a culture that basically is in line with the wants of the people. Sometimes are the utterance of statements which have been detrimental, and such things are not good for the body politics of Sri Lanka. So these are areas that can be made to have a collective look of the country. I think The lack of a spine in them is the problem. They basically lean towards racism when they don't have policies to stand on their own belief. I believe a Sri Lankan identity is the best for this country, where everybody feels it's a part of their country. Not one lot saying a place is for them. Their lot is their want is the entire country is part of them. The Sri Lanka identity is the best way forward. Yes, I do. Firstly, I walk the talk. It's how difficult it is. If you get elected, you have got to look after the people's interest and not any self-interest. This is why sometimes it is disheartening that you have character assassination, because many people talk and not walk the talk. When you give the opportunity, you have got to deliver your deliverability. That's the best way forward. The people judge you on what you do, not what you say. Uh, I guess one good act is better than thousands of words. There are many politicians who talk and don't do anything. And I guess the people who dare those are the ones who basically get affected, because one who does something is the only one who can make a mistake. Firstly, the reduction of cost of living in 20 days for the historic one. They basically kept the petrol, diesel, gas, all of them in astronomical figures. But as soon as we came, I was a person who went to courts to reduce this. As soon as we came into power, got power, we reduced that. The younger generation, the education system has today been insured, where every child is insured 200,000, which is a unique feature that we did, and ensured that they basically be protected from the commercial problems that they have when they fall sick, or if they have a eventful situation of death or anything like that, or tragic situation of a death. Likewise, we basically ensure the natural disaster that is there. This is the first time the world recognized us as we're the first country. I was the finance minister that we insured against natural disaster. Then we basically ensured the government servants had a salary increase which was historical. This was never seen before. The government servants as well as the private sector got that. Even people who lived on Mahapula got a substantial increase. These were what we basically did in that short time. Then the next one that we did was ensure that the education was made compulsory, as well as the money was allocated from 1.4% GDP to almost 3.5%. Health was added on to the same, which was not seen before. Development that was only stuck in one elected, one district, was ensured that it went on to all 25 districts. And this was a way that we basically saw that there was sustainable development across the country. When I guess the most important aspect that was there, it was we took off the fear and ensured that everybody is felt that he is part of his or his world, of his country. And that sense of security was brought into the existence. A certificate that you can get for the future. Serve in 26 years, you know what basically is what type of politician I am. If I say something, I'll do it. I want to be the voice to the voiceless and ensure the younger generation given a better tomorrow. The parents who have basically had a difficult time is made to live a comfortable life, and together to make that sense of today is better than tomorrow. Or sorry, tomorrow is better than today. The next thing is that there are certain minimums that you have got to ensure that the voters enjoy, and that is to ensure that you are contactable, that you can be dependable, and you will be able to deliver what is expected of them at the time they expect, not at the time you want to deliver. That's the difference between others who talk and I, which I believe in performance.